So welcome to the medicine card reading for the month of May. The first card that I pulled is Possum. And so this is the first animal who's working with us this month. And Possum is a curious little animal. If you've ever run into one late at night, or your flashlight or your headlights catch the eyes of a possum at night that's kind of peering around a corner or stuck in your driveway, it kind of freaks you out because its eyes get really, really, really bright, and then you realize what it is and it has this little snout, and then it rolls away, and then you have like this long tail, and you're like, oh, it's not a rat, but it is a rodent, right? And yet the possum is an amazing animal if we just would stop and listen and stop and look. The thing with the possum is they're extremely gentle and extremely passive. And they're these animals that kind of are a little ferocious when you run up to them at night, like I said. But at the same time, they're these beings that just emanate gentleness. And if you've ever been able to witness a possum with its young, so a female opossum, a mother opossum taking care of its young, it has this way of just being, come here, I've got you. I'm taking care of you, piles all the babies on its back, and just travels along. One falls off, she will pick it up and go back and get the baby. And so that there's this way, this nurturing, this loving, this caring, this embracing of possum. And so what this is teaching us is, as we're going into May, what are the places and parts of yourself that you see, maybe you see in the mirror, or you see in the middle of the night, or you hit up against when things are quiet and you're like, I don't like that, I don't like that, I don't like that, right? But actually it's that part of you that is this gentle, nurturing, loving, passive part that is just asking to be loved and just asking to have space. And so possums are those animals. They're these gentle animals. They're not asking to invade, they're not asking to be invaded. But they just want to have the space to live, to thrive, to survive, and to raise their young. So what are the places in you that you get afraid of, that you don't like looking at, that really just need the space to breathe, the space to be, the space to thrive within you? And so when we enter into this month of May, that is the first thing that's coming up. And so looking into your practice of self-awareness is really going to help you tap into that gentleness of possum, and where can you find that within yourself. And then the next card, the next animal that's working with us is moose. So we go from a little rodent to this huge, majestic animal. And the moose, funny, also an animal, if you're up in Canada or New England, you may run into with your headlights on a road at night. Different reaction, right? The moose has presence. But the other piece about the moose is also this gentle, gentle being. And so it can be ferocious, yes. It can wade through water, yes. It eats plants. For this huge animal with these huge antlers, it's an herbivore. And so it takes of the land, it works with the land, it is a part of the land. And so what moose is also teaching us is, in that gentleness, in that nurturing, in that self-loving space that we are building this month, where are you accessing what you need in your relationship to the earth, your relationship to the plant world, your relationship to all that is around you, that which is thriving, that which you are a part of? Are you connecting to your environment? And I don't mean just the plant environment. I'm talking about your entire environment, people, places, your job. How are you interacting? How are you being a part of it without destroying it, stepping away from it, running away from it? Because we like to do that sometimes. But actually being a part of it. And so what moose is actually reminding us is, in this gentleness, be a part of your environment. How can you show up? How can you literally take a step and say, hey, I'm here? And allow yourself to be fully seen in that space of gentleness and kindness that you're working on within yourself this month. The other thing that's important with moose, when moose shows up, it's also a reminder that it's okay to dig deep into our emotional bodies and to allow ourselves to step into emotions, step into grief, step into joy, step into anticipation, step into fear, and be okay. Because there's a way that moose can teach us to stand there You don't have to move, you don't have to go anywhere, you don't have to swim. You just literally have to step in and you're gonna be okay. And so Moose is teaching that we have that power as well as the grace within us to move through whatever comes up. So the last animal that's working with us is Crow. And so Crow, it's interesting to follow Moose, because as Moose is talking to us about going into our emotions, what Crow is telling us is that the emotion that we're going to be working this month is grief. And so where is that grief within you? How can you find it? How can you look it in the eye? How can you say, hey, I see you, and I know you're grieving, and I know I'm grieving, but we're okay. And we're just going to sit here, we're just going to stand here, and we're going to be okay, because we've got both Moose working with us and we've got Crow working with us. And this is that gentleness, that playfulness that we can find within ourselves as we go into practices of self-care, practices of self-love, and allowing that grief that's still stuck in there. Maybe it's really, really, really old grief. Maybe it's grief from a past life, grief from our parents, grief from our lineage, grief from yesterday. Whatever it is and wherever it's come from. Working with Crow will give us the space to help it release, to flow through, and become like this moving water, right? Like it just flows through, or the air that breathes it through. And so we'll be able to move through that with gentleness, with love, and with care. And so I offer this up to you as the reading for May. So we have a possum, we have Moose, and we have Crow working with us, reminding us that even when we see ourselves in those spaces that scare us, or those emotions rise up that we don't want to face or deal with, like grief, that we have the power within us to practice gentleness, self-love, and deep, nurturing self-care. Thank you.